Also mirroring. If you mirror the body language of the client, if you have the client with you, without them noticing it, you will gain rapport. If you use the same tonality that they're using, you will gain rapport. If someone is a fast talker and you're talking slow, that may not work. So you need to really observe and listen and tune in to make sure that you're staying in rapport with the client. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get them out of D. If you look at your framework, you're trying to give them a solution. You're trying to build, right? What I hear a lot of companies are doing is trying to figure out why it happened. Why was it late? And then trying to give excuses.
They don't care.
Client don't care. They don't give a crap.
Let's say we stand from the same point of view, right? We don't care about the customer because he has been a pain in the ass. So basically what we do is answer in the same way, right? Because we have the opportunity. Let's say the client is wrong. We already know that it's wrong, but we are not questioning that part, right? We have our facts. The client has his own facts, and here we have this conflict, right? Where I know sure that I'm right. Because I have the picture, I send the product, and he's still saying that I didn't send the picture. So the product. So obviously
we find out that the guy every single order is complaining about some little missing part. So he's only waiting 10% discount.
that is
So here's another thing that guides us in our lives. We call it rules, right? We have limiting beliefs that we create about ourselves because of the losses that we've had or the mishaps or whatever. And then we have these bullshit rules that we create that really don't work. They serve us for a time, but not for the rest of our lives.
right.
But here's a rule that I employ. I love my clients, and I like to create raving fans. But I also have the authority to fire clients. I will not work with clients that make me miserable or suffer. I don't want those kind of clients. So I don't care if they're willing to pay my price point.
Right.
So before I hire a client, and some people think it's the other way around, they hire me,
No, but I understand what you mean.
right?
Exactly.
I want to make sure that I will add value to their life and they will not cause me suffering.
Right.
Or pain, rather, because
So
suffering is a choice.
So there is a point where as soon as you start feeling this pain or this suffering, you need to either fire the client or rehire or renegotiate how is going to be the relationship, because of course up to here this is not working. Besides the complaint, because a customer can complain about, hey, you said that you were going to send me the product and I didn't have it here, sorry, yes, no, free shipping, no free shipping, several opportunities. But we can't do nothing with, oh, you didn't send me some product and I have a picture where I send the product. More than send him the picture and show him that obviously he's lying. Or I can go further and tell him, you're lying. Or go forward and tell him, you know what, I'm not going to sell to you anymore. And I still right. But it's...
Well, again, language is power, right? And so how you discharge a client can also impact the rest of your business.
Exactly. That's...
Right? So, number one for me and for my clients, the focus is not whether I'm right or I'm wrong. That's not the focus.
Right.
I can have all the data and I'm right. I'm still trying to bring a solution to the client. But there are some exceptional clients.
Forget it.
And exceptional clients, I believe, are not necessarily a good fit for my business. And so that's how I would basically have that conversation. I said, look, we'd love to serve you. I believe we've tried to add value. We've done everything possible. But maybe we're just not a good fit for you. So if you believe that you can find value, add it somewhere else, then by all means, I think this is the end of the road.
And Mario...
That's different than saying, I'm right, I've got the invoice, I said it to you, blah, blah, blah. I'm right, you're wrong, boom. And so,
Yeah, I tell them I strongly recommend you look for another supplier.
yeah,
For me, it's very important this question
You always
because
come back.
because
they always come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
because the company is growing in different aspects. You know,
Right.
sometimes it turn on fire on the customer service. Sometimes we need more salespeople. Sometimes we need more in the warehouse. You know, and it's growing fast and it's pushing the area that it's needing. And for me, it's important to know what kind of clients we're start because bigger the company, as bigger is the company,
Right.
your kind of clients go changing. When we were small, the kind of clients were from Hialeah. We're bigger, we're worldwide. We used to be South American only. Now it's Americans. American wants, I pay you, give me the service, charge back. Different rules, you know, different standards. And of course, it's pushing us to be to that level of standards, which I like because this customer wants to pay more for a more value added to their purchase. So for me, it's very important this question that I'm asking to you because I think that our clients are all the time redesigning themselves. So I don't really know exactly. We keep grabbing everything we have, everything we can touch. It's a sales opportunity, we sell. And maybe we're not that sharp of this 20-80% Pareto law, or we're not that sharp on, these kind of clients are costing us more than it used to, and it's not because they're bad clients. We are not the same company anymore, and this is for us. I think for us is bringing us. I don't know if I should call it a problem, or maybe we don't know how to, or a challenge to transform and to add value to that kind of.
I have something to say about that. You need to understand that from the company that we were, there was nobody knew the company. We were an untrusted company because that's the problem of selling on internet. They don't buy from you not because you don't offer the product. They don't buy from you not because you have the best price. They don't buy from you because they don't trust. You buy from Amazon, pay 10% more because it's Amazon. I can return. It's my credit card. I can check everything. Forget about it. You don't buy from whatever website. Oh, come on, right? That happens. So the first switch that we did from the international customer to the domestic customers, you need to eat this part of the pie, which is not the best one. The first batch of customers are the shitty ones, are the bottom feeders, the ones that are being fired from the big dealers, the big representative. They say they fire the guy, the Armenian guy from Henry Shea because he's a pain in the butt. You know what he does? He comes to use the He comes to use the it has to be after one. After one, yeah. They fire the guy because he's a pain in the butt. What he does? He comes to use the and he plays the big customer. I want this, and I want this, and I want this. And you guys are going to work, and you guys are going to go. What else can you do for me? What do you want me to do? Dance for you? I don't do nothing for you. Okay, so that's the kind of customer we will have to keep dealing for a while until we get the good customers that come from the big dealers, that they come voluntarily. Right. Not that the ones that don't have any other place where to buy.
Right, so we should have more clear where are we going as a company so we can take care of that perfect customer that we want to.
Oh, that's a that's a good proposition
this.
that we talked about, because there's 3 questions, and we're about to wind down. There's 3 important questions that, and when I say ownership, I mean everyone in this room has to ask themselves. Number 1, who am I? Because until you know who you are, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to add value to your position. And as I said before, if you don't add value to whatever your position is, you will become irrelevant. We are all expendable. We don't like to think about that, especially when you have families and that sort of thing, where people who are like family, right? And I can tell you that because in several of my companies, I have had family members. In my coaching company, my son works as a coach, but he earned this position to come on board because he saw the vision, saw the mission, saw the transformation opportunity, and that sort of thing. So it's who am I? Second question, what business are we in? Because when you answer as an organization, what business are you in? Then you ask yourself the third question. What business are you really in? Because a lot of people believe, for example, I'm an attorney. I provide defense. Really? How does that make you unique? It doesn't. So when you ask yourself, what business are we really in? And the next question is, who are our customers? What's my niche? What do I want it to be? So initially, remember, I was a prosecutor. I got out of the prosecutor's office. I started my own firm. I had my coaching company separate because I've been coaching since '92. And I wanted to have my own law firm. So initially, I was taking in whatever came in through the door. But that was because I wanted to get established. I had a 3 to 5 year plan for the niche that I wanted to work with. CEOs, real estate investors, and health law clients. See, that was what I was working towards. Because in leadership, and I don't care whether you're at the top of the organization or the person at the front door, we're all leaders. Because when people come see you at the front, guess what? First impression. So you're the director of first impression. They don't get to see Marcos when they come to that. They see you. You're the leader. You're the owner in that moment. What's the energy they're going to get from you?
Okay.
You see? So we all have that. And when we know who we are, where we're going, who's our customer, then we can go out there and get that niche. Pursue that customer. That's when you can say, I don't want that kind of client. As a matter of fact, when I have an initial conversation with my private coaching clients, we call it a discovery session.
Right.
I give it to them free. I don't charge. I give them 30 minutes of my time. I get paid $3,000 an hour on what I do. I don't sell it by the hour, I sell programs. But that's what it averages out to. So my time is money. But I don't trade money for time. Because my mission is to change lives, companies, individuals, families, right? So when I give them that discovery session, I listen to what their problem is, where they are at in hell. I know I've got to heaven because I can change that. If they want to. I can give them some insight, perspective. I can't change it for them. They got to come to their own rescue. Okay? But here's the trick. I will also tell them the type of client that I will not work with. And I'll tell them in that discovery session. I will not work with procrastinators. If you're worried about how much money you're going to invest in this process, keep your money. If that's your focus, oh, I'm going to have to put it on a credit card or this and that, I don't want to work with you. I know it's an investment. It is an investment. But if that's your focus, are they really going to be focused on making the change they need to bring the transformation in their company? No, they're not. And I've seen what that focus...
You're meaning if they focus on the investment instead of focusing on the outcome.
Correct.
Whoever is your customer and he doesn't care about the equation mathematically,
Yeah.
the arithmetics of the investment, he's an idiot. You don't want him as customer.
I don't want them.
Okay.
Because they're going to have a mindset of what I call scarcity. And unfortunately, in our Latin American cultures, there's a lot of people like that.
Fear.
Unfortunately, it's that fear. Which fear is today disguised as stress. They'll tell you I'm stressed. They won't tell you they're fearful. And so I will tell them that. I will tell them, are you 100% committed to the changes that you need to make in order to get the result you want?
Yeah.
If the answer is yes, they're one step closer to getting in the door. If the answer is I don't know, because they won't commit. You see? So you have to establish criteria for the relationships that you want to have.
How do you know they are not going to tell you yes just because they don't want to
Because I can tell if a person is lying to me. I've been doing this since 1992.
No, I know. Of course, I can tell that you have a lot of experience. You can check the body, the language.
But when
what
you're
he's
first
saying,
starting
you know.
out, when you're
You know,
first starting
sometimes
out,
he's afraid.
it's
you
a
know?
valid question. It's getting more information. The more discovery you have about that client,
That's why it's so important, the discovery. I get it. Yeah,
discovery.
Right.
You got to
You
get
keep
to know.
discover.
He
until
said
you
the
have-
magic word, you said it earlier, trust. Trust. I tell them, I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to classify you. You're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. Okay?
Exactly.
But you need to play full out. You need to be focused on your process. You need to be committed to it. Okay? And you need to do everything that it takes in order for it to happen. I will do my part. What was your question?
You can also change that. I mean, if you have a customer that you have a conflict with because you don't know exactly what kind of customer is the one that always brings you a problem or yell at you or that, you can use all the things that we've been talking about to change that.
Yeah, you can. You can.
Be a calm and good customer.
And sometimes I've accepted clients that have presented themselves well, but something happens along the way that they violate their own character values and their relationship starts to change, and I fire them. Because I'll tell them that.
That's
up front.
very interesting. That's very interesting. It happened a lot. I don't know. I was trying to look for that question. You know, I was like, something I'm missing something. It was that. You know,
Yeah, they have what we call a C, a significant emotional event. Something happens at home, they're in conflict with their wife, they don't want to be truthful because, and it happens a lot more with men than women, although I don't like to generalize, but the vulnerability is not necessarily there. And in a learning, growth, coaching, teaching process, you need vulnerability because that's how you change. Vulnerability brings power. There's a good TED Talk from a gal named Brené Brown, 18 minutes. I think it's called The Impossibility of Vulnerability. Now you can't be vulnerable with everyone. Because some people will manipulate you, right? But with your coach, you have to be truthful. It's just like going to the doctor. Right? If you don't tell the doctor the whole scenario, he will give you a prescription for what you tell him. If you walk outside the door, all of a sudden you collapse and die because you didn't tell him the whole truth because of the fear, right? Then who's responsible? So fear kills, rapport kills the relationship in any negotiation and conflict resolution. So when I'm going to have a conversation, let's say I have a teammate, whether it's my son or one of my female coaches, before I have that conversation, I will sit down and write out for me, what's the outcome of this conversation? What do I want to expect out of this conversation? So that I don't go in there and my mind all of a sudden starts doing its trick and then I react. I don't want that. Okay? Has this been helpful?
Great.
Very good. Thank you very much, man. Thank you
My
very
pleasure.
much. Guys, you are free for lunch.
Thank you.
You can, I stay with Mario.